What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 820. Tuesdays, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter, here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're here to talk wrestling with all of you, celebrating our pro wrestling independence. With me, as usual, before he takes his summer sabbatical and we start the Mad Mike replacement program protocol, he is from Beacon, New York, and he's only Mayhemmer with Future Endeavor from the WWE. He's Mad Mike.
That's right. I will be going to an undisclosed location for the next two episodes of the show, which will mark my longest absence of the show in potential years.
Quite a while, I think, since you worked that other job with the giraffe.
Since I worked at IBM, I believe.
Oh, geez. Since you worked with the bunnies, the bunnymen.
Yeah, in the bunny suits.
They still have the bunnymen there? Did you meet a bunny man?
Woman.
I went with be equal here.
Bunny people.
Bunny
that
persons.
site actually closed. Yeah. Yeah, it's been that long.
Oh, jeez.
It's been a hot minute.
Oh, I guess so. I
mean, in 3 weeks, I may not even know how to do this thing anymore. One could argue I don't know how to do it now.
Yeah, you and me both, pal. Also with us, another one who has held every job in wrestling and also can be asked if he can do any of them well. Ronnie Starks.
I wouldn't say I can do them well, but I can do them.
You can do them when the other person doesn't show up that was assigned to a job. They're gonna side-eye Ronnie and be like, "Yeah, he'll do.
And I'll just be like, "I guess so, man."
Ronnie, I'm so glad you've joined this podcast as a grizzled wrestling vet to celebrate your. I don't know why I'm in this rundown mode for you, but it's kind of your gig. Like, listen, Ronnie, I'm glad you're here so we can celebrate your mediocrity in professional wrestling.
Hey, minimum effort, baby.
Minimal effort. You know what? Never give up. And Ronnie, maybe you'll half try.
Hey.
Never give up, sometimes surrender.
It's true.
Oh, boy. Also with us is not Brandon K. We had a scheduling conflict pop up, and we'll be rescheduling him for the near future. But with us is somebody without as luxurious hair and does not come out to a song that gets us booted off of YouTube every time. Tony Kincaid.
What? I'm a replacement?
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't have to tell him that.
I mean, I am painfully honest right now, and yes, tired. Tony Kincaid, who is an announcer, commentator for both Prospect Pro Wrestling and Renegade Wrestling Alliance, which will have some of our video people here this weekend in West Newton, Pennsylvania. And I'm sure there will be violence and food and middle fingers by small children. Is that better?
Possibly all at the same time.
Oh, I'll just yes.
Probably all at the same time.
Likely all at the same time. It's very, very interesting down there. So I'm glad you're with us.
85% all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're with us, and thank you for joining us on such late notice.
Yeah, as I guess they called in the lefty, righty. I don't know. I mean, Brandon Kay's a pretty good guest. It kind of sucks that you couldn't get him.
That's all right. It happens. He's got a busy schedule, and I get it. He's training whatever next AEW or WWE star we'll see sooner or later, I'm sure.
I'll say it. We don't need him.
What?
I'll say it. We don't need him.
We don't need Brandon
Fine.
K. What?
Yeah, no, not today.
Oh,
He can come back. He can come back on our time. It's fine.
oh,
The
no.
shit stirrer in me,
Oh my god.
who works
my
for
God.
RWA and 2PW, which I guess technically are competitors with Rye. especially
it's a
this
good
weekend.
working relationship. I think, yeah, this weekend, I guess.
Wants to continue this line of thought, but you know,
Moving on.
Brendan K. It's Brendan K. He's
I
great.
mean, I just can't wait for.
I mean, I'm
He's
going
great,
to
but you
Rise.
know, he's great.
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
not saying
you're
he's
dead to
not
me,
great.
Ronnie.
I'm
mean,
just
I get-
saying we're pretty good too. And we can do a show.
Look, I'm
Also-
getting paid. I'm getting paid to go to Rise. Unless you're
Yeah.
paying me to
Well,
show
I
up
mean,
at RWA.
I can't wait for Mike to visit Pittsburgh again and get a super kick from Brandon K. But anyways, this is
I'll
This is
no
loud.
sell it.
the.
I'll no sell it completely. I'll just walk away like, huh? Anyone feel that?
Oh,
In my
oh.
brief experience in wrestling, when you no sell something, you learn how to sell right after that.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, you just let it out, man. You just there's going to be no pulling on that one.
Yes, I can bring
That's
this
fine.
out.
I've threatened Ray.
Wait,
Rowe
what are you
before,
doing?
and still
What are you doing with the Kermit?
What?
He's drinking. It's none of his business.
God.
What are you doing with evil Kermit over there? What is happening?
Ronnie's bringing back like a 13-year-old meme.
I am. I'm bringing it back, baby.
I
But
mean,
it's a phenomenal meme.
it's been a
so
while.
okay.
It's been a while
Oh,
since
by the
we've
way,
had
Sorg,
Peppers on the
Sorg,
show.
before we do the business, I
Yes.
have a Lego update.
Before the business, you're dropping a Lego update. This better be quick.
Well, we didn't do a show last night.
Well, yeah, because it was a holiday, and I'm,
Yeah, I know.
there's fireworks and stuff, and
July the 4th be with you. Sorg.
oh, look at that! Wow, it's a whole scene.
Nice.
It's a whole.
It's
It's
a diorama.
It
yeah.
actually turned out really nice.
That did turn out really
It's
nice.
really cool.
You need to put plastic
It's
over it.
lovely.
Like you need to put plastic
And-
over it like a Hills display.
And it says.
He
"The
needs like
force
one of
is
those
strong with this one."
cases.
Yeah, there you go. There you
That's
go.
really nice.
Yeah.
I like that a
It
lot.
was great.
Oh boy, well we are live here, and you never know what's going to happen or what unfortunate things will be said that will probably get somebody kicked in the face sometime.
Oh, I've threatened Ray Rowe. I'm not scared.
Oh boy.
It's true.
I did too once.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm also very far away.
Wait a minute. Okay, now I am going to pause this. Ronnie Starks, how did you threaten Ray Rowe?
No, I'm joking. I didn't threaten.
No.
him.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly right.
He did work a show in Ohio one time, and I was still working for IWC as a referee, and I was managing out in Ohio. And he said, "Why the fuck does a referee have a microphone spot?"
Okay. All right.
And I laughed, and I was like, "Oh."
I
shit.
still love the time that he scared Bobby F. J. Town because somebody stole his phone, or it fell under the ring or something when they came out for the Super Indie photograph, and he was really really angry, and Bobby's like, "I'll find it, sir, right away." I'm like, "Bobby, you don't have to do anything, man. You're okay. It's not that wasn't for you. He's just generally mad, okay?" It's like it's okay. So as long as you didn't take his phone, you'll be okay. So, anyways, I just looked up and saw the moon. That's fine. I got the windows open today just for me, just so I can see the train go by. And my new bike rack. My new.
I was gonna say those are lights, Sorg, and
No,
you
I
need
got the
coffee.
phones right there. I'm looking out the window, and I got a
Okay.
bike rack 5 feet away from me now for reasons. And that guy doesn't have a shirt on.
I'm gonna start putting random things on the bike rack.
I want to decorate it, guys. I mean,
We need to.
We're never starting this show. This is what this show is tonight.
No.
Remember when we just like bullshitted about movies for 2 hours with Zeke a couple weeks ago? That's what this episode is going to become. We'll get to wrestling, and I'll show you my bike rack in a minute here. But
A bike rack. A bike rack.
Is that code for? Never mind.
what was
I'm
it?
gonna,
If
I'm
I
gonna show you my bike rack.
if I hang a
I
sock
don't
from
even
it,
know what
is
that
it-
would be a code for.
if I hang, I'm worried that I hang certain things from it. It's going to mean that I have drugs, and people will be knocking on my door.
Just
I-
tie a pair of shoes together and just put it on there and walk away and see if anybody notices.
But yeah, it's so. Anyways, this is my bike rack in front of the studio now, for reasons.
There's the cheapest bike rack
Nobody.
possibly gone. The city of
it's
Pittsburgh is
pretty
like, you know what's a
heavy.
good idea? Let's get that 1980s bike rack out there.
I mean, at least they didn't put it like in front of my door, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. We're gonna do something creative with that thing, Cause
Can we still park in front of the bike rack?
yeah, no, it's not in the road.
Sorg,
It's fine.
I think rainbow duct tape.
Rainbow duct tape.
Yeah, just get like different colored duct tapes and just go all the way around.
I have Avengers duct tape. We can do a big Marvel duct tape thing.
Not opposed to this. Not opposed to this at all. I mean, somebody responded like they're like, I can't wait for like one of the wrestlers to do a move off of it or something. So I mean, it's sturdy, I guess. But
Somebody's gonna get seriously hurt on the bike rack.
We'll
and
be
we're all
the
just gonna
judge
be
of
like,
that.
yeah, we'll find out eventually. It's just confusing. This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can hit us up and tell us what we can do with this bike rack in front of the studio at that email address.
Good times.
At goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com or 412-206-WMS0. Tell me a story on there. Also, hit us up at Mayhem Show on the Twitter, and we got a great Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page, Discord, and Reddit, where we can have some conversations throughout the week. And, of course, we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the Sorgatron Media Twitch, and the IndieWrestling.us Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. However you would like to consume the show, and of course a lot of people hanging out on the Facebook chat today, including Dave Bonner, including Tina Keys out there in Seattle, including Alex Miller down there in SoCal. That's a nice bike. That's a nice bike rack, he says.
Yeah. Sorg, you're already getting compliments on your rack.
Yeah! Look at my rack!
About done. Actually,
like what you
Sorg,
see.
Sorg, this is what we're going to do with the rack.
Here we go.
Every wrestler that comes to the studio, the promo for the episode is just going to be them saying, "Look at my rack."
Jeez. I was waiting for DeMarco to come by. Jeez.
Yep.
Anyways, you can also
every single person that comes in.
subscribe to the podcast over on your favorite podcast provider. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our friends supporting the show for so long at the fan show level. Boo! Diggity! Woo! As well as at Burke and Team Hammer Fist. At the Poppy Club level, Dave Ponner and Bobby F. J-Town. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Gravity and The Riz, who I got to hang out with a little bit and enjoy wrestling the other night. A fun, fine, enjoyable time, by the way. And also at the manager level, Bradley and the Mother of Dragons, Tina Keys. You guys can support the show too at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. We do appreciate it, and it does help pay some of the bills around here and keep the show afloat. And we do appreciate all of that. It's the reason we do not pursue a lot for advertising, honestly. I mean, any ads we have are just people we want you to check out because they're friends of ours or projects we're working with or the Stronghold Academy. Or what?
Or we like pizza.
Oh, they give us pizza, yes. I mean, I will not deny that. You can bribe us. And sometimes it only takes food. Just saying.
Sometimes it takes less.
Let's be honest. Honestly, yes.
I mean, the city of Pittsburgh gave us a nice rack.
Look at that! Look at that! Is this what do I have the new mayor to thank for this? I mean, he is a friend. He is a friend of the Sorgatron Media Couch, by the way. He was in here. I mean, I'm just saying, we've done projects in and around 2 people now that have become mayor of Pittsburgh.
So basically, he came into the studio, and he's like, this curb needs something.
I should become mayor and fix this.
When I'm mayor, there will be a rack.
Is this our present?
I guarantee it.
I didn't vote for him.
And that's why you got a rack.
That's why you got one rack instead of many racks.
I'm very certain my wife didn't either. I'm pretty sure my wife didn't either, but it's unconfirmed. But I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy. I just like the other guy better. He's that old, whatever.
I can shoot him an email and tell him thanks. I'm like, hey pal, we haven't.
You don't even live in the city.
Sorg, just send him a picture and say nice rack.
Do you even have a mayor out there, or do you have like a commissioner? I mean, you're out there in the cut, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm amazed you have internet.
We have what? I live in the suburbs, bro. We have like a town. What are those called?
Chancellor?
Townships.
Township?
Yeah, we have a town.
Comptroller?
We have like a township kind of group of people.
It's
run
Lou.
things
It's
around
Lou. He checks in
Okay,
the
so
office
he
on
has
Thursdays.
he has a supervisor and a commissioner.
There you
set
go.
up.
There you go. Anyways,
and
let's
and a
talk about
cabal.
wrestling. Let's talk about money and banks and briefcases and
I like all those things.
and belts and
living once.
and what? And living once.
And living once.
and yeah. So Money in the Bank was this weekend is what I'm trying to get to, and we should probably talk about that. I watched it. It was fine.
So did I.
I watched it after the fact, so I kind of knew what was happening, unfortunately, because social media. So I definitely cannot. I cannot say whether. I mean, it was fine, as far as that. But watching it live, I'm sure I would have had a different take on it. But anyways, a lot happened, including Sorg is wrong. Sorg was wrong. You're nodding down there. Why am I wrong, Mike?
Oh, because someone said that Liv Morgan wasn't ready to be a champion.
I was amazed if WWE would have given her a championship because I did not think she was ready for the WWE championship in WWE's eyes. I'm not saying that she was not good enough or anything. I would love to see her as champion, and I got my negative wish.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and she beat Ronda.
And
Which
she
is even
beat
better.
Ronda in the weirdest thing where she got her hand raised by the person she just cashed in on.
Could you try again?
Shut up, Siri!
Yeah. Ronda went into business for herself, doing the WrestleMania 4 ending.
I like Liv winning was very cool because for two reasons. One, from everything I know, Liv is a phenomenal person. Everyone seems to like her in the company. She does a lot of charity work. A wonderful person from all public appearances. Two, Sorg was and Tyler Klein were insanely wrong. So that's
we were talking about a top rope
something-
tabletop too, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
And Ronda, after losing to Natalia in a match that was there, gets pinned and pops up and hands the title like she's Hulk Hogan.
Mhm.
Which
That's
I said
exactly
that-
what I said.
When I said that out loud, I go, "Oh, I can see it." So
Nobody
Yeah.
should be happy
But
they got
Ron-
cashed in
Ronda's-
on.
Ronda's the face here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And as Tina's pointing out in the chat room, that is the second time Ronda got cashed in on.
Yes, it is.
So, because that's the only way they're gonna get a belt off of her, right? Is
Yep.
that or a three-way?
But the last time she was cashed in on, she didn't eat the pin. It was Nia Jax. Because Alexa interfered in the Ronda and Nia match.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexa beat
They
Nia.
pushed a big leg injury on her, so I mean, that's what it is.
Which, again, this is something I've said probably on this show before. The sharpshooter doesn't injure the leg.
wait.
It injures the lower back.
Right.
It bothers me every
Okay.
time.
Is this confirmed? Is this from an interview with Bret Hart himself?
No, because
well-known
Bret doesn't
fact.
only do. It's just like just look at the move.
Mm-hmm.
It can hyperextend the front facing knee, but the lower back's the primary target. The front facing is the secondary target.
It's a Boston crab.
Yeah, like-
it's a fancy Boston crab.
Yeah, like people attack the leg so you can't like kick out of it easily,
Mm-hmm.
but it attacks the lower back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to the from everything I've understood in watching wrestling, you have to weaken the knee so they can't get their leg from behind their leg, because once they're cramping up, then it's stuck in that place, and then the front facing leg takes the pressure. And William Regal talks about this all the time. So
I
when
love
he's on
this.
commentary,
Or on this podcast, apparently.
to any young people who might be listening to this, I gotta tell you, the thing you gotta do if you want to do what any of us do in wrestling is watch a lot of wrestling and think about the moves practically, and you will be successful. I
Mhm.
promise.
Mm-hmm. Understand the philosophy behind it, right? Like, you really do. Absolutely. So Liv is the champion. To my joy and humbleness, fantastic. Whether I'm right and he's going to be a transitional short-term champion just for that little bit of a pop kind of situation, or not, or we will see.
I think we're going to do a little bit of long-term storytelling.
You were so.
No.
You're
I'm serious.
so strangely optimistic.
I'm dead serious about this. So, this was on SmackDown a couple of years ago when Shane McMahon was. Remember when Shane McMahon had an open forum, and it was right after Kevin Owens got let go or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and Charlotte grabbed a mic and started talking about, Charlotte being Charlotte, and Liv Morgan got up in her face when she still had the pink hair and the blue tongue and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and Liv and Charlotte started a little mini feud for that one night. Charlotte beat Liv, and then Liv got on the announcer's mic and said that she tried her best, but she's going to come back and go after Charlotte when she's ready. I think that's where we're going with this.
So,
Mike, you're the only one who remembers that.
I don't think so.
Like at all.
I don't think so. I've seen a couple tweets referencing it already.
Okay.
Yeah, but none of them work for WWE's creative staff. Like, I love the idea.
I bet Liv remembers.
Yeah.
I bet Liv remembers. And Charlotte is probably due for a comeback sometime soon.
It is going into SummerSlam, so that does make a lot of sense.
But yeah, I think that's where we might be going with this. At least I hope it is. Either that or Bailey. I'd be okay with it.
Bailey has been
I'd be
tweeting.
okay with Bailey.
Bailey did tweet, I think, like something of Bianca and Liv, and she says, "I'm so over this." So
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, she's coming eventually, right? So what else from Money in the Bank? So we had the Liv moment. We have the Theory moment as well.
I was really pumped about the Theory.
Oh boy.
I like Austin Theory. I don't give a shit. That kid's gonna be a star.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Unfortunately, sooner than people think, but he's gonna be a star.
Gonna be a star. He'd be a star already.
He's on track, man.
He's been the U.S. champion, and he won the Money in the Bank. He's going to take the title off of Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes takes it off of Roman.
They really.
Wow, you're connecting a lot of pieces there, Ronnie. None of which I think are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody's going to take it off of Roman.
Yeah, Drew at Clash of the Castle.
Drew McIntyre?
At Clash of the Castle, if it's going to happen there, it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Clash of the Castle going to be?
In Wales.
In Wales, yeah.
Oh, he's 100% taking it off.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's happening. No,
but I will agree with Ronnie though. Like Austin Theory does look like he's on the track to being a star, and I will also agree with Mike. I'm not 100% sure he's there yet, but he does show the stuff that you want to see. He does have entertaining matches. It's just every once in a while he hiccups. And I haven't forgotten the time he was supposed to catch, I think it was Montez Ford, and just didn't. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, that scares the bejesus out of me. Mm-hmm. But Austin has a good character, or a very punchable face, and is very athletic, which is what you need to be effective. So I hope for the best for him because he is entertaining. That's about it.
Well, we'll see where that goes. He's got the rocket strap for sure. So I don't know.
That being said, people named Vince's boys, or where Vince has come on camera and said, "This is my guy," statistically don't do well while they're holding that moniker.
So he needs to leave, go get the Impact title, and come back. I got you.
Right. Yeah. Wrestle in ICW against Grado, and he'll be great.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What happened to Grado? Where's he been?
I think he's acting.
Is he acting? Wow. Good for him. Fine.
Grado's the best.
Yes. So
That entrance is money.
what's that?
That entrance is money. And like coming out to like a prayer. I loved it.
Oh, yeah, that's right, like a prayer. Oh boy, I can't remember if I got to experience Grado, like maybe at like an AIW or something. But anyways, sorry, I'm distracted.
And
Go ahead.
the Street Profits and the Usos had a really good.
Yes, Tina. I think it was
Money.
Tina was calling that match of the night.
I
Yeah.
would agree.
Oh, and she says Grado runs a promotion in Scotland.
Oh, cool.
So there's that too. The Rocket is on Theory. The partner's agreeing with Ronnie, at least until Vince gets bored or angry, or Theory texts the wrong person again. Yeah, that's Theory may be his.
Yeah,
own.
that's why I don't like Theory. Like if that stuff didn't exist, I would just be bored with him.
Mm-hmm. It'll be like, oh great,
Like-
here's another.
Like that's why I
thing.
actively don't like him.
Yeah. But
Rewarding bad behavior.
if the bad behavior is truly in him, then he's gonna fuck up again, and then that'll be it, right? So like-
Sure, and we said that about Randall Keith Orton too.
okay.
He never got fired
No.
for the billion times that he fucked up.
No, but he did have to buy a bunch of people bags to replace theirs.
Oh,
so.
there you go. See, it wasn't without consequence.
That's some serious shit, you know.
Oh boy.
The difference between like the difference between like Theory and Randy, and I'm not going to compare the two. Randy, the OVW 2002 class is incomparable to anyone else who wants WWE. There will never be a better developmental class ever. Period. Our Randy was and still is a gifted, amazing wrestler who has overcome both very immature thoughts and injuries early in his career. Austin needs to show that he can be a ring general at some point, because the OVW class, what is the common theme about all of them? It's not that they're all big people, but they're all ring commanders. They all can run the show if they need to.
Well, even like the lesser people in that, like the Shelton Benjamins. And
Yeah.
Like we're not just talking Cena, Orton, Brock, Batista. Like the whole class.
The entire roster is nasty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually unfair when you think about it. Comparing, like, what I just did is compare other developmentals to that. You're never gonna get that again. Never in a million years. I hope I'm wrong, but
Feels like
I mean, there are probably a couple of like ROH classes that come close, but
Alex-
that's not developmental at that point.
right. And Alex Miller just said something in chat. We always say that about Jeff Hardy. Hopefully he learns.
We sure do.
Jeff's issues are a lot deeper than being immature.
no, for sure.
So,
For sure. And that's something he's got to work through before it gets him, you know. But again, like if you're, you know, he's somebody that's had issues, and if he's, you know, come back around, you know, you're going to hire him. You're going to hire him because he's money still,
Yeah.
right? To a lot of fans out there. So, you know, if he comes out of rehab or does rehab, hopefully, and I have not seen a story whether he confirmed that he is, but everybody's, there's a lot of calls for him too. I think even AEW is saying don't come back until you have.
No, AEW said you can't come back until you have.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's there. It's not like it's not suggesting. It's saying we will not let you back until.
Yeah. So they're, at least AEW saying, a little bit of fool me once, like you're done, because you have a history and, you came here under pretenses of something that happened like this, which may or may not have been real, on a couple of different levels, and that's debatable. We won't get in that again, but no, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But well, let's roll it around here.
Oh, one other quick thing about Money in the Bank. I need to point this out. One of my favorite things about Money in the Bank this weekend was I discovered a first-time wrestling fan on Twitter. Apparently, this woman had never seen wrestling before and decided this was her first weekend to live tweet wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I want she's got a lot of traffic from wrestling fans over the course of the weekend because she live tweeted SmackDown and Money in the Bank. So if you all get a chance, like right now, she's live tweeting the end of Endgame. But at Aaron M. Payton like Peyton Royce, highly recommend you read her thread on SmackDown and her thread on Money in the Bank.
I think I saw some of this. Like it was somebody like you shared this or something, and
I definitely did.
And there were references to the Insane Clown Posse in it, which I think were references to Asuka. Yeah.
Because she didn't know anyone's name.
Oh boy,
she didn't know anyone's name.
Threads?
She kept calling Shotzi green hair.
Yes.
She called Becky David Bowie.
What was the one where it was like somebody's girlfriend that never watched wrestling? They're giving her pictures, and they're naming the person. From It was like a month ago this happened, right? Like it's kind of like that. Like just like
it is. It's just that person live tweeting SmackDown.
I love it. I love it. Well,
it's wonderful. Like she was calling the Street Profits Big Velvet and Little Velvet, which made me giggle. I tweeted to her, I'm like, has anyone told you that Braid and Little Velvet are married? And she appreciated that. So yeah, just the whole thread was wonderful.
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, you can check out, and if anybody you want to introduce independent professional wrestling to your loved one and live tweet it, that would be more than welcome. Hell, if you want to set that up, I'll send you a free code for a month of Indie Wrestling Network. So if you just hit me up, goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com, and we'll set that up. IndieWrestling.network, IndieWrestling.us, ringside members over on YouTube getting all the great shows of Rise Wrestling, RWA, 2PW, VCW out of West Virginia, and so much more. Plus the VODs with our friends from Pro Wrestling Conquest or Revenge Pro out of Erie, our friends Warrior Wrestling. We got some back catalog there out of Chicago or wherever the hell they were last month. They've been on tour, and it's been a tour. So go check out all the wrestling action over at IndieWrestling.us, including streaming last week. You can check it out over on the YouTube channel, Top Rope Tabletop, a part of that as well. Our good friends, including our guest right now, Tony Kincaid. What the hell are you this season? What are you playing as this season?
Cleric.
Moving on from a bard to a cleric, huh? So there's been less singing, I understand.
Less singing, more trying to keep Tyler from dying and failing miserably.
Oh yeah. Did he full die this time?
No, he didn't full die. I got him up, but he went unconscious.
So you guys kicked off campaign 2. All new characters. Some I know some are descendants of characters that you guys played in the first one. It's yourself, Justin Idol, Tatiana, Keith Hott as the DM again, and Tyler Klein. So it's every time you start, I feel like Tyler's got a new tag belt.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little ridiculous when you think about it.
Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? So it's I don't know. I felt like you guys came right out of the gate this time, like right into things. Like I don't know. It just like you guys have like a whole different energy this time.
Well, we learned a lot from the first campaign about how to make Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop gaming entertaining for an audience. We learned what works for us, what works for the audience, and kind of balance some stuff out. So when we were talking about when Keith, Justin, Tyler, and Tati and I were all talking about how we wanted to do things, we talked about a bunch of things like, let's create a story that's uniquely ours, uniquely Top Rope Tabletops. So we worked on that. Keith is so far, I know Keith is crushing it because he opened our story up. We got into fighting within 15 minutes of the opening of the game. And it was, hey, welcome to the new campaign. We're in a desert. It's a wasteland. Things are suck. There's no water everywhere. And now you're fighting someone. And I thought that episode was the best episode we've done yet. Um, I'm super excited to see what Keith has been cooking up, and I'm super excited to see what the rest of us are doing because we've all also connected our characters together. So all of us are connected to at least one other character. Our characters are all connected to one other character. So there's a story, there's a cohesive union. It doesn't feel like we've all been ramshackled into a room together and are becoming a team. We are a team. We've been working together for at least a year in universe. So I think I'm feeling good about this campaign.
Yes, if you're on video, that is
Oh my God, the Justin Idol shirt.
yeah, Justin Idol with his muscle shirt on. I told him he should just wear that out when he wrestles too.
Yeah.
And the ears were not functional for the
Those
headphones.
ears lasted about 5 minutes.
They did.
And then we had to put the
He's
headsets on.
He's like, I'm coming out strong. I'm like, wait, we'll just we can tape them to like the outside of the headsets next time or something, right? Like that seems to make sense.
Yeah, we have gaffer tape.
We have a lot of gaff tape. Tape around here. So no, that I'm excited to be. I'm glad you guys are really settling into that after and I know I've been fussing with like how do I present you guys too has been kind of a thing, but I think we settled into something that works for everybody and that's really cool. So that's Top Rope Tabletop. Follow it on Facebook. You guys will be we're figuring out the time for the next session, hopefully in July, I think, maybe sooner or later. But I know that's been a discussion too. So, what's the biggest thing that you've kind of learned from doing that first session here?
The biggest thing I learned was we need a tank, because we got the crap kicked out of us. We survived, but barely. But the big thing I learned was how much we've evolved in our concept of production value. Justin, myself, Tati, Keith, Tyler, we're all investing heavily into ourselves and this product. We've also really developed and come out of our shell, in my mind, on vamping and the improv level, which is so important to us in wrestling. But you don't really think about it when you're playing a game. And once we started getting comfortable with that, which I think was in the middle of campaigns too, we started getting comfortable with vamping to the point where it was actually driving you nuts because sound balancing, you had to mute me, Tyler, and Justin half the time. I think that's the main thing I've learned is that to tell a good story, you have to be kind of agile on your toes. And if this is a metaphor for something else we do, I don't see it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I just basically set it and forget it at this point on your audio.
Yeah.
I was like, the compressor will take care of most of it.
The show, by the way, in case Tyler's watching, the show is Top Rope Tabletop. We're talking about it.
Oh, good. We're talking about it early in the show instead of the end.
This is more he did. But he had just won the Rise titles, so
yeah, he had a lot on his mind. But so a lot of going on there. You got RWA this weekend. It is, I can't remember what the name of the show is.
Aggression.
Aggression. Wait, Aggression? I thought that was the August show. Okay.
Wait, let me look so I don't look like an idiot.
Oh boy, here we go. We'll confirm that.
I mean, who gives a damn? Really,
it's RWA. It's RWA.
Yes,
they have a show every
Aggression.
month. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter what the show's named.
It's RWA Aggression. I was right, as I always am. It's fine. We're back.
There you go. But
don't ever make me doubt myself again.
A lot of stuff going on there. A lot of it involving food. So it's coming up July 9th this weekend at West Newton Gymnasium. Of course, we'll have our crews there for IndieWrestling.us. I don't care what show you go to, but please support one of the shows in the area. Of course, RWA and Rise both happen the same night. But Tony's here to talk about RWA, so we're going to do that because we've been talking about Rise the last couple of weeks. So what is the biggest thing going into this show for you?
There's a lot. So in addition to last month's show, our champion Ryan Edmonds, who you are quite familiar with, interrupted the #1 contendership match between Danny Leeds and Bill Collier. Dr. Feelbad, RWA's owner, decided to just make a triple threat match because of that. And then Chris Taylor returned. Chris effin' Taylor returns from a 3-year hiatus / retirement / Disney trip, I don't know, and backs up Collier and Eads as J-Rock and Ryan Edmonds. J-Rock, of course, saying he's the true RWA champion, but they are both Edmonds and J-Rock are in cahoots. And then Chris Taylor shows up to help out and now he's in a street fight with J-Rock Saturday. And I cannot figure out for the life of me why Chris Taylor would want to come back to pro wrestling to get destroyed by J-Rock. J-Rock is in the best shape of his career, and Chris Taylor has been doing rock shows and living a family life, which is great. It's awesome. I'm super happy for him, but he's not in RWA anymore. So I'm worried about Saturday because I know Doc and Church are really close with Chris, and I appreciate that. Your boy's going to get beat up. The circle's no longer around, guys. It's 2022. Stop trying to chase it. So that's an interesting thing, and that's just the start. That's just the bullet points from the main event that all came out. We also have the return of El Blanco Loco,
which tremendous match with
Loco
Dory.
Blanco, El Loco Blanco.
Blanco, not El Bronco.
Yes,
Loco.
And I apologize to him. Very great, amazing wrestler. But because Bronco McBride dressed up as El Bronco Loco, my brain does stupid things. So I apologize. But he's back in action. Dream Girl Ellie is back in action. I think the Rev Ron Hunt, another person that I don't like, will be back. At least he says so on social media, unless Shane Taylor Promotions has an autograph signed in Timbuktu or something, whatever. But he's scheduled to appear, and this feels like some pressure is bubbling. You know what I mean? Have you ever, Ronnie? You've been in the business for a while. Have you ever walked into an arena and gone like, okay, something's going down?
Oh yeah.
It's been feeling like that for weeks. Every time I've talked to people about production, it feels like tension's bubbling over. I haven't felt this way since the incident last November at RWA.
All I'm saying, bro, is I'm just happy that I'm going to be over at the other show because I don't want to be there for that show when shit hits the fan.
I feel like it's going to. Something bad's going to happen. I just hope I'm near a door when it does happen.
Well, let's just hope my good buddy Chris Taylor comes out of this alive in some way, shape, or form.
Look, if Chris Taylor is one of the cornerstones of RWA. My personal feelings aside, he's one of the cornerstones of RWA. Helped build the company from the bottom up. That was 11 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 27 years ago. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have a calendar. But I do know that this is a dangerous thing for Chris to be doing. And he's going to have his hands full with J-Rock for sure. And it's a street fight too. So it's a street fight in West Newton, Pennsylvania.
From the chat room, Tina's saying, I mean, it's pretty aggressive with kids with middle fingers. Also, just waiting for another kidnapping of Tony from Chris and Rev again.
Why? Why are we talking about this? Listen, okay.
I don't know. It's the chat room. Tina's some other dragons. She wants to talk about it. She's an executive producer.
And I respect Tina immensely. Can we just not talk about it? It was a really rough, I think, 10 days. I'm not 100% sure. No one ever told me. I ended up in Cairo, got stuck with a bill. They had to smuggle me into Morocco. I had to hide in a bar called Rick's. It was weird. I had to wait for papers to fly back. It was strange, okay?
Okay.
I've been to Rick's. That's a nice place.
Great piano bar.
It really is.
Elias, you can scope out some of this. We actually, the Dream Girl Ellie match was part of our first episode of Spotlight Slams, a new show that we're doing here with IndieWrestling.us over on YouTube and Grind City, and in the Facebook we posted as well. Episode 2 is coming up, and we are going to be showing this week the tag match with Justin Idol and Gory against Warhorse. So definitely worth checking out there. That will be premiering 10 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube channel for Indie Wrestling. And the Facebook, and then also that night on Grind City. I think we're the 10 or 11 o'clock slot there. So you can scout that out, see what's going on, see the dates coming up for everything. It's part of some of our new projects here with IndieWrestling.us. So check it out, RWA Aggression, this weekend, Top Rope Tabletop. Sooner or later, you can check out the entire almost 4-hour session. There's a break in there. On YouTube as well for that, right?
Yep. And we'll get the dates together once we all get our wrestling schedules together. I know Tyler's super busy. Tati's traveling across the area. Keith is traveling across the area. And Justin, who was supposed to be in action, I don't know what's going on with Justin, but he started suffering from severe migraines after Top Rope Tabletop. And I texted him, and now he's questionable for Saturday. So we don't know what's going on with him. And with him holding the tag champions with Gory, the future's kind of confusing. I mean, he was in great spirits Saturday. We were in the studio. Or Thursday for Top Rope Tabletop. He was in great spirits. And then Saturday evening into Sunday, he just got this blinding headache. So, I don't know what's going to happen about that.
Well, maybe Justin needs that good medicine that we all like to take around here with Slice on Broadway. New York City style, yins are made. Supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. 5-location Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, and a pop-up down there in the South Hills Works. Give a shout out to our friends Slice on Broadway for supporting the show for so long. We're going to take a quick break, and we come back. Listen, we'll be back in about a minute and a half after this.
Savon's Legendary Podcast.
Watch on Instagram, TV Network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
So what you saying?
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
We are back, the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and we're going to do something potentially dangerous right now to your ears. We have with us, of course, the great Tony Kincaid, still with us. He's got a thumbs up there. Thank you for helping the audio listeners. Mad Mike is with us. Mad Mike is with us?
I didn't know if we were all doing a thumbs up.
Well, yeah, but you got to say something so I can see you on Zoom.
Well, all right. I mean, you could just fix the switcher. I don't know.
And no, it's a different. Oh, yeah, you don't remember what it used to be like, Mike. It's been so long. You've been spoiled all these years.
Talk shoot.
Yeah.
84 years. It's been 84 years.
And also, what the hell?
It's been so long. Ronnie retired 18 times.
I know, right? From like 4 more positions. And also with us is Ronnie Fresh Sarks.
Let's get the camera all set up.
That's
here.
right. You're getting ready. You were the most excited about this idea when it came up.
I was. I'm like, I'm doing this. I don't care.
I'm trying to remember where it started up. Where was it? I think Ross Berman actually maybe tweeted this initially about the hold on, where's it at? Where's the dangerous tweet? Anyways, the Acclaimed music, how has the track from the Acclaimed not been released up till now? Okay, first of all. And it has, and there was something about, hey, you know, somebody's going to be rapping to this, and then we said, yes, we are going to be rapping to this on the show. And Ronnie, you were the first one to step up to this.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for your big moment?
Oh, I'm gonna regret this.
Yeah, probably. And also, somebody tweeted me a rap too if you want me to perform it.
Yeah, I think you definitely should.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, and this is the thing that will probably get us pulled off of YouTube. And oh man, I had it queued up earlier. So vamp for me. What is your inspiration for your lyrics, first of all, while I'm setting this up?
I don't know. I just wrote something. And just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this.
Just like my entire rap career.
Ronnie 8 Miled it.
I did 8 Mile it.
If I see a reference to Mom Spaghetti in this thing, so
there is the Mom Spaghetti, but you will appreciate something.
All right, I don't know. Sorry.
Oh boy.
My music went away. So, there it is.
No.
I forgot what the icons were. Excuse me. Well, let's see what we can do here. Ronnie, are you ready?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. It's not.
I'm
going.
trying not to laugh in the process.
It's not going. Why isn't it going? This worked before.
I think we spared ourselves from the rapping.
Oh, I know why it stopped working, because we're doing this thing. Okay, so we'll disconnect this thing, and then this will work, and then this will work. There we go. Do you need it from the top?
Yeah, give me from the top.
You'll wait for it to end.
Yeah. This is embarrassing.
Not yet. Yo.
Yo, listen. Ronnie Stark's in the house, so shut your mouth and listen. 15 years in the game and still swinging, not missing. Like a monkey flipping poo, you marks don't want to do. So you hate me because the rats want to date me. Yeah, that's all I got.
Wow.
With enthusiasm. This is what we were waiting for?
That's all you got.
Ronnie, Jesus, man.
I know, it was terrible.
I apologize to all of hip hop.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
all of it.
It probably doesn't help that when we're talking, we can't actually hear the music.
Yeah.
No, it's not at all.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I don't think that really. Yeah. It doesn't really matter to be on beat for this one.
We're trying not to butcher.
He's not. So.
All right. Yeah, exactly. So, all
I
right.
I just did that to entertain you guys.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm thoroughly entertained. This is one Jim LaMotta put in here earlier. I'll go and perform this. Yo, listen. These words are a fire. Believing Ronnie's skills are like believing he's retired. He's stuck in the biz. It's fate, but his career potential is good as Angel Gate. Yo.
Angel Gate, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's where LaMotta is. I think he's, that hurt.
He should have said Watergate.
The Watergate? Oh, that would have made more sense. Mike, do you have one?
Yeah.
I guess I can try.
All right.
You gonna freestyle that shit?
You're freestyling?
Yeah.
You do this?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't write anything down.
Okay. All right. Big time. All right, big time. Let's see what you got. Let's hold on a second. Ready?
Yeah, sure. Yo, listen. I'm on a podcast trying to imitate Caster. Ronnie's rapping skills were a big ass disaster. That's it.
Okay. Hey, that you got that much going on.
No,
that's good. That's better than I can do on freestyling. All right, the big time. Yeah, Tony Kincaid, what do you got?
Whoa, time out. I was the last minute guest. I didn't have to. I wrote something.
This is a last minute idea.
You were not the last minute guest.
I literally was.
All right, hold on. Sorry. I got another one.
You got a better one? All right, let me cue this up again.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Still going. Here we go.
Yo, listen. When I hear the Acclaimed, I wish I were deaf. I get more disgruntled than MJF. Sorg, this segment is getting really rough. I think when it comes to rapping wrestlers, we've all seen enough.
Oh.
Jeez.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Somebody get that guy an award.
I'm glad everybody's tried this.
Give me a slide.
No, I will try it, but
Okay.
Because it's gonna be offbeat because I can't hear the music.
That's okay.
So...
I'm not worried about that. I'm
He's
really
off-
not worried about that.
Caster's offbeat when he does.
Yeah, he doesn't even try. He just kind of does
That's
it.
true.
All right, you ready? Trust me, you guys are sounding great on this end. So you're sounding great on this end, and I think the chat room agrees. Just clear it with Mikey Ruckus first.
Absolutely.
All respects to the great Ruckus. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Everybody saying that they wanna be acclaimed.
Listen. Sorg asked for Acclaim raps. It ain't that hard. You know that King K cuts words like he's a bard. You rap against me, that's a bad decision. Cause I wear the crown like men on a mission. West Noonan gonna boo me, but really, who cares? These fans are so big, they stop. Well, I'm gonna start that one over again. Cut.
You want from the top? Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
We're not.
We'll fix it in post.
West Noonan gonna boo me, but really, who cares? The fans are so big, they snap half of our chairs. So come down this Saturday and wear a good shirt, cause church was right. Y'all all river dirt.
Wow.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Wow.
I want to keep in mind, Ronnie's the one who actually wrote something. And Tony and I went off the top of our head.
No, I wrote something earlier today.
You did write something. Okay, my bad.
And I used somebody else's words. So there you go.
Well, so Sorg, you should come up with your own.
See, I was feeling that until I flubbed it, and then my palms got sweaty, my knees weak, or my arms were heavy.
Were you wearing mom's spaghetti?
There was vomit on my sweater already.
But on the surface, you looked calm and ready.
Mm-hmm.
I kept forgetting what I wrote down. And it's right in front of me. I don't know how.
So you open your mouth and the words just didn't come out?
Keep stalling so I can write something.
So if someone could cut out the 5 seconds of me just going, blah, 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 that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. Don't worry. Completely take care of it.
This is live, right?
Nobody not live is going to hear that, okay? No problem.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
This is why I'm not a musician.
The funny thing is, I'm actually really proud of what I wrote.
Yeah,
For
that
the
was
small
good.
minute I was in.
That was good.
Tina's not. Tina's upset.
Tina's not impressed.
Tina's not impressed.
Oh dear. What was it? A lot of face palms. A lot of yeah.
Hold on. Tina, who had the best rap?
Oh yeah. All right.
I feel like we need a judgment.
Put her on the spot.
I feel like we need a judgment from everyone in the chat. F's in the chat for Ronnie.
What?
All F's. Just drop
F's
the ball.
in the chat for Ronnie.
Mm-hmm. Don't be scared.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So, who do you think had the best rap?
Who had the best?
Yeah.
I gotta give Tony credit for plugging the show and burying the audience in one of his lot of F's.
Wow. All right, fine. Just for that disrespect, I'm not gonna be on the show the next 2 weeks.
There was no time out. Yeah, I buried the crowd, which obviously I buried the crowd.
Of course,
Yes.
yeah.
But no love for because I wear the crown like men on a mission.
That was pretty great.
I was laughing. I didn't want to laugh out loud to interrupt your flow. I appreciated that line.
That was good. Oh boy. Well, that was a fun exercise. What else has happened?
Let's never do that again.
No. Well, let's stay on it.
Sorg, is the episode title just going to be "Yo, listen"?
It might actually be. I had something else written down over here too. Actually, it might have literally just been "Yo, listen." So, no. The other title I had was "Look at My Rack."
Yeah, look at my rack's pretty solid.
It's pretty good.
Pretty solid rack.
Let's stay on AEW for a moment. Blood and Guts happened almost a week ago. It was a lot better than the first one. I'll give you that. I appreciated it. It was a fun War Games match. That's probably the most fun I had watching a War Games match in a long time.
I'm gonna say something that's not at all controversial.
Okay.
Put a belt on Claudio as soon as possible.
Oh my God, yes.
That man is a god.
That guy's not,
because he's taller than everyone in AEW.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Like, put a belt on that man immediately.
Give me him and Scorpio Sky as soon as Wardlow's done. So give me him and Wardlow. Oh my God.
I was gonna say
give me Claudio and Moxley, and then give me Claudio and Punk.
Well, I think first thing you're going to see is Claudio and Eddie, but,
Well, yeah.
That seems like a ready-made feud, but other than that, there's a whole-ass Chikara reunion on top of the cage. There really was.
Claudio doing the swing on the top of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
My word.
Mm-hmm.
Just give that man all the belts.
And this is it. This is we give you. This is what I love about AEW. They give you the thing you knew was possible, and always thought was possible, and always wanted to see.
Well, not all the things you knew were possible.
Okay, and some that you're just like, I didn't know I wanted a Royal Rumble in 2 rings. Apparently I did, and I'm happy with that too.
I was immensely. I was blown away by how incredibly. I love war games, but I love old war games.
Mm-hmm.
And I was incredibly surprised at how enthralled I was in that. A lot of it was Claudio. A lot of it was like my old Chikara fandom. Tina mentioned Chikara. My old Chikara fandom kind of kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
And like thinking about like Claudio and Eddie and Punk and Danielson all being on national TV, and I kind of got like goosebumps in that setup. Chris Jericho is insane, and
Mm-hmm.
Claudio is wicked strong, and those two things mixed together turn into a swing on top of a cage, which was not in the middle of both cages. It was on the edge,
Mm-hmm.
which means if Claudio slips, Jericho is flying neck first into the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That shows how much Jericho respects Claudio and knows he'll protect him.
Yep.
Sammy did his "I'm going to kill myself" spot. It was a great kill yourself spot. I
filmed much better this time too.
Filmed a lot better. You know what?
Covered
Credit to
better.
AEW.
Covered better.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to AEW for getting their production together 90% of the time. The other 10%, I hate to say this, is JR.
Yep.
I cannot anymore, and the man is a legend, cannot anymore listen to JR. I can't. Because he only knows the WWE guys by their WWE names. He keeps screwing up. Meanwhile, you have someone like Excalibur who has been studying independent wrestling since he was like 6, who knows all these guys, who knows everything, who can go tit for tat with Regal and any of the other students of the game in the ring, on the mic. Taz, who is also a student of the game, a little goofy from time to time, but a student of the game. And Tony Schiavone, who finally fell back in love with pro wrestling. And JR is just screwing things up. Let him retire.
Mm-hmm.
Just let him be.
Like JR doesn't give them cachet anymore.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, I get it.
To us.
He wanted to bring in. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Like he just doesn't, because he detracts from the product.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, he just makes it. He makes it sound worse. He makes it sound amateurish at times and nitpicky a lot more of the times. Like he's doing a podcast. He's griping about the same stuff he gripes about on his podcast. And
if WWE would have done this to JR, we would have tried to light them on fire. If If they would have done this to Bobby Heenan at the end of his career, we would have lost our minds. But we're letting AEW get away with this because they're giving us multiple options on TV for wrestling. And 90% of the time, it's great. And I'm not one of those guys who subscribes to Tony Khan's a cringe, money mark, whatever you want to do. The guy wants to put together an actual program. I respect it. I want to see how he does in a 5-year window, not a 3-year window, not a 1-year window, a 5-year window. That's how you measure this stuff. But putting out JR over and over again is detrimental to JR. Okay? It hurts us listening to it as fans, but also it hurts the mystique that JR has from being the voice of the Attitude Era. Stop it. Just stop it. And yes, they are phasing them out, and Tina said it. They are phasing him out, which I'm very thankful for. He deserves a front office job where he doesn't have to do the travel, and he doesn't have to be on mic, and he can just do what he wants to do because he's still a brilliant mind for wrestling. But don't put him in a situation where he has to go off script because he doesn't have Vince in his ear, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But he can go off on tangents now. Let him be.
I don't think he has anyone in his ear.
No, I don't.
Honestly, I don't think he's been produced on commentary once.
I don't think so either.
I think he's produced live on air by Excalibur.
It's possible, and that would make sense because Excalibur is again that dude.
Yeah, and Excalibur is, he's in the ear when Paul White and Tony and everybody on the other shows, and then he just leads the charge. Like he's the info guy, right? Like he's the brain. He not Bobby the Brain, but he's the knowledgeable brain of.
He's the Mike Tenay.
He's the Mike Tenay. He's the one. Mm-hmm. This is what Lucha Libre is, but for him, here is the capacity of independent wrestling of all these guys that you haven't seen on TV, and I'm going to let you know about it. I'm going to let you know that these New Japan guys in the tag match on Rampage, had a thing with this Japanese guy that you never heard of before, and that's and while we're saying, well, who cares because that's New Japan and nobody really knows what's going on with that's watching this, your general audience, no, but he keeps poking those names out there, and somebody out there is Googling that and just became a fan of that, right? Like, that's the little bits that I love and noticed about Excalibur this past week, especially, with this, I have to try to get people to know and care about this entire other thing on the other side of the planet, that not everybody knows who Okada is or Tanahashi or any of these guys. And then that's been the most impressive thing to me is how he does execute that. And everybody else kind of goes along for the ride and lets him educate, right? For the most part, and just kind of plays off of that.
Jericho butts in a lot.
Jericho, and
Jericho is also troubling on
Mike. I'm starting to get into your camp there on Jericho too, because it is a lot of butt in and getting his shit in, right? And a lot of screamy stuff, and which to me is surprising. I mean, it's a choice because we know what.
Yeah, like it's one thing if he's there on guest commentary.
Yeah,
like to do his shtick against someone who he's feuding with, that's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to be a lead commentator on Rampage, I can't watch Rampage. I can't. I just can't watch it.
And we had Rampage was interesting. They brought JR out. And this was interesting. They brought JR halfway through Forbidden Door. They brought him out halfway through Dynamite, and then he kept on through at least the Rumble, I think, on Rampage. That's an interesting choice. I don't know if they're trying something different there to mix that up, to alleviate the complaints about JR and say, hey, JR is around, but he won't be around for it. WWE was doing that too. JR would come out for big matches, right?
But that's when JR was sick.
Right.
That's when JR was sick.
Well,
and he would come out only when specific people requested him to call their match.
And is JR
that's why JR would come
is
back
JR
out.
Getting road worn maybe in his he's not young, right? So I don't know to what extent that might be. Maybe he's like, I can't do a 2-hour show. Maybe we'll do this in a pre-tape, kind of thing. Maybe this is the later days of AEW JR.
JR should strictly be backstage, off-camera interview think pieces.
Yeah, the vignettes that they do.
He
Yeah,
could.
because then he can focus on one person. He can put over that one person, tell that one story, and it's also pre-produced.
Well, don't
So
you
if-
have
so if
to?
there are flubs.
Isn't this interesting then? Isn't this interesting though? Because remember, we talk so much about the other promotion and how it's an audience of one. Do we have another audience of one when it comes to AEW?
Absolutely.
We always have.
Okay.
There's
Anyone who's-
always an audience of one.
Mm-hmm.
There's always an audience of one.
Whoever writes the checks is ultimately the audience you're playing to.
So if Tony loves JR, we get JR.
I'm hoping someone has. I'm hoping that someone is comfortable enough to tell Tony.
Do we
JR
have? Sorry, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just hoping someone's there to tell Tony that JR is amazing and one of the greatest and all that stuff, and it's time for him to go. Because when you put him out for a Rumble, and there's 30 people in the ring, and he only knows half of them, you're putting him up in a situation to fail.
Yeah.
That's not love for that guy. That's hatred. That's mean.
Yeah, so maybe they're not realizing it, right? So it's interesting. Does AEW do so well because they're listening to the audience and giving the audience what it wants? Or are we getting what Tony wants, and that happens to align where are we getting what Tony wants, and that happens to align with a lot of the audience that's shown up? Let me go to the chat room real quick. So I just want to get some of these thoughts out here in the world. Team Amethyst. Excalibur is the best commentary in the business, and he's wearing a damn mask. I don't know. He's not covering his mouth, at least, right? Jericho comes off like an unironic Booker T playing Black Snow, and that's not a good thing. I do not know that reference. I need to pre-read these. There has been a health update, Tina thinks, with Ross, right? Wonder how much Tony just doesn't push back against his talent. AW is totally an audience. Well, yeah, there's the other thing, because they've said that, they don't really.
Well, he definitely pushes back against certain talent.
Well, yeah, there's that. But there's also, like, in AEW.
Big Swole. Excuse me. Sorry.
In AEW, like, they're big about, like, they're not telling CM Punk how to run his match. Or his promo. They say, we trust you. Do what you do. Be CM Punk, right? So maybe that's a part of that too. Tina says there's not really a balance in management if there's really one person running production, right? I really hope main event Mafia TNA commentary. Wait, Mike, help me with this reference. You'd lived through that.
I don't.
Oh, the Black Snow comment.
Yeah.
Oh, was it
when I believe when Booker and Nash were on commentary?
Oh, okay. Wait, was that like their team name or something?
No, that was like Booker doing another.
Yeah, so
name.
I thought I remembered this, and I just looked it up. So it was Booker T was Black Snow, and Kevin Nash was Chet Lemon, and they were doing a spoof during a main event Mafia thing where they took
like
over the
Oklahoma.
company. Yeah, and it was rough. I kind of pushed that out of my memory. I'll be honest.
Thanks. I'm gonna have PTSD nightmares for the rest of the night, Jesse.
I want a Slammiversary, but only celebrates the rough stuff from TNA years.
Isn't that just OSW review?
I'm unaware.
Sorry, but that's to an audience of one. So no, honestly, if what we're complaining about right now is commentary, because the matches for the most part are really good. Now there have been some stinkers. Let's not. Both companies are doing what both companies are going to do. I firmly believe we're in everyone's in cruising gear right now. Not bad, not good. Things are just moving along. If this is where wrestling's going to be for a while, that's not a bad thing. It's just there's some things that need to be tightened up. Vince is still in charge of creative over at WWE, and he's still apparently coming out every show and being seen because that man has zero shame.
I feel like I've seen him more since allegations than before.
Tony Khan is hugging every new signing he has and getting really defensive at press conferences. So overall, I think we're in good shape in the business. Because we have billionaires acting like children.
How
else
that's,
is wrestling
wait a
gonna
minute.
run?
That's life, though. I mean, that's life. That's a
but-
guy putting rockets in space too. So I mean, when you get to a certain you get to a certain range of wealth, the world's rules don't apply to you.
Sorry, Vince isn't a billionaire anymore. I forgot.
But
My bad.
but still, similar rules apply there. But anyways, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it happens where in behavior. But we're not that podcast. We can all agree that Excalibur and Taz trying to get each other to corpse on dark commentary is just the best. Yes! I know they're fucking around. But you know what's
100%.
happening? They're having a great fucking time and it comes through. And now I want to go to price.com. You're welcome.
But okay, I appreciate that they're having fun
Yes.
and all that stuff. I do, but doesn't that also mean that the show doesn't matter? Because no, and here's my argument for that. When NXT was a game show after the first season,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell the commentators were doing the same thing on that,
Yeah.
and it basically told all of us that show didn't matter.
Okay.
That's why I see like the dark and the dark elevation like as nothing shows. Like it's great for exposure for indie talent. It's fine. Does it help the overall product that AEW is trying to produce? No, I don't think it does.
Mike, how much did WCW Worldwide mean to WCW Nitro?
Nothing.
So what's the fucking difference?
But they're acting like it does. WCW never said, "Oh, you missed all this happening on Worldwide," or like La Parker racked up 37 wins on Worldwide, so he gets a U.S. title shot.
Okay, I still don't understand this hang up. I don't understand this. Is it because they run results on their main program? They're trying to get you to go to YouTube so they can get the hits and sell ads for price.
It's because they say wins and losses matter, but
First of all,
everyone has a winning record.
I don't know when the hell someone said that last, but
So is this like
They say it all the
whose
time.
line is it anyway of professional wrestling? Like the points don't matter. Whose line is it anyway?
I mean, it's always been.
I mean, isn't that all wrestling?
Yeah.
Isn't that
True.
all records in wrestling? Isn't that the record doesn't matter? The undefeated streak doesn't matter until we decide it does for a story.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, I don't know what we're mad about here. You know, they're doing it. They're using the tool that they told us they were going to use, and yeah, they'll rack up stuff on dark to make somebody look more important. That's okay.
But if you don't watch that, and they don't give any kind of recaps about why we should care about that person, what's the point?
But isn't that more of an addendum on the concept of the job match in 2022 and less on elevation?
If you want to tell me I don't want to watch Superstars, like I'm watching Raw and Superstars doesn't matter, like okay, then it's cool. It's the same thing. Cool. It's fun for me to watch.
If something from Superstars carries over to Raw, we see a video package of that.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not. That's the problem.
Cool. As Mike, we established this last week. I'm not going there again. It's not for you. Oh no! Where the fuck? Oh, there we go.
And he unplugs his microphone. It is now the Tony Kincaid Show, ladies and gentlemen.
I hugged the mic too hard.
The good thing about Dark and Elevation is that it lets us gets national TV exposure for guys that we work with on a regular basis.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm not saying anything bad about that. That's all good.
And it's working because they're getting sponsors, so like people are watching it, and it does. I mean, that's their breeding ground. That's their NXT. That's where they can do stuff like that. That's where they can play a little bit more with the Ring of Honor. Because honestly, more people are probably watching that YouTube show than did Ring of Honor on Sinclair. Probably.
Well, on Sinclair, yes.
I do not have facts, but I know for sure. So
comparing Sinclair to anything is like comparing a loose turd to the Sistine Chapel. Okay, let's not do this. All right.
Yep. Well, I guess it's been several years since I talked to that Sinclair rep, but okay.
I'll say it.
Yeah, hey, go ahead. Go right ahead. I ain't fucking doing business with them again. But anyways.
I'm gonna get fired from wrestling one day when someone realizes that the Tony Kincaid angle is in a bit and just me being an asshole.
I never know where the line is.
Brother, I've known you've been an asshole for years. I don't understand what the surprise is.
And I'm listening to commentary and I'm like, this guy, dude, Tony, Tony, I don't think I ever said this out loud. I think I hated you for the first 6 months I knew you.
Awesome.
Because I knew you from commentary exclusively. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
That means he did his job.
So good work, right?
Yeah, and I sucked back then, so like that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, compounded, whatever. You're here now. Show more and more women's matches of show. Yeah, there's that. Okay, I'm not getting into the women's matches thing again.
Hey, I didn't say it this time.
No, it was Podner. It was Podner in the chat room. And there are a lot of women's matches. And again, I you could say the programming, but no, I'm not getting into that. We've stated that. We're not going down again. He's doing his job. Do they still do the rankings weekly? I think they still post them, but they don't talk about, like, every once in a while you'll see like Brit or somebody.
No, they absolutely do talk about them.
When and where?
They say, "Oh, this team's the #1 ranked," when we haven't seen them on TV in weeks.
This is also, we have the FTR, that is the several-month reigning #1 contenders for the tag championship. So, I mean, like, there's never a problem. Like WWE's never sat on a #1 contendership for a year.
I'm not saying did I mention WWE once? And if WWE was doing this, we'd bury them for it.
Well,
I'm just asking for
kind of
equal
accepted.
treatment.
This is a wrestling problem. It's not just an AEW problem. So
I know, but equal treatment.
Equal treatment. What do you?
If we only had one women's match on Raw every week for damn well over a year, we'd be talking about it every fucking week.
Okay.
It's
yes.
inexcusable.
Yes, I'm with you on that. I'm not saying that anybody's argument is wrong on this, but I don't know what changes it. I really don't know what changes it on AEW. I don't know what I don't know what the fuck needs to happen on AEW to make that change. The audience is telling them. Mad Mike is telling them every week. Every time he sees a Tony Khan tweet, I see a response from Mike, okay, and Podner, and everybody else. I mean, yes. They were equally doing a disservice yet an amazing job with women's wrestling over there.
No, they're not doing an amazing job with women's wrestling.
Disagree.
I'm sorry, they're not.
Disagree.
I'm sorry, they're not.
They're
not.
Okay.
They're not doing an amazing job.
Even shoehorned.
There's no storyline, Sorg. There's no actual storylines. There's just matches.
Somebody else help me on this one on that.
Ryan, you want to go get wings or something?
Yeah, we can go get some food, bro.
All right.
Okay,
we'll
damn it.
See you guys later.
Ronnie's hitting sleepy time.
Oh, wait,
All
no,
right.
I'm not sleepy time. I'm just listening
You
to
look
Mike,
so relaxed over there.
I'm good. Sorry.
Ronnie finally has proper lighting now.
Yeah, he does.
I do. I need to work on... I'm actually going to go...
Ronnie,
What?
how can you get this good lighting without laying down?
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Okay.
Tina's saying in the chat room, someone has to be a critical voice in Tony's circle, have to grow a set and not be a yes person.
Okay.
I'm sure there's enough.
And honestly,
it fucking sucks.
And I know if Kenny Omega and Dustin are running the women's division, I know they're trying.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let a woman run it. Maybe get Maria Kanellis and have her run it, because she's done this before, and ROH's women's division was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was rebuilding into something great too before the
indeed.
shutdown. So
why would you have, no offense to Maria, but why would you have Maria running when Sarah Del Rey is on your fucking roster?
Wait, Sarah Del Rey?
No, Sarah Del Rey.
Not Sarah Del Rey. I'm sorry.
Serena.
Oh, you mean Serena? Well, Serena can still be talent. Like, I mean, I'm not saying she can't be a part of it as well, but like, if you want someone who's not talent to be running it, Maria should probably be spearheading that.
Fair enough. I ultimately the problem is this is a compounded issue in wrestling, not just an AEW WWE issue. This is a compounded issue in wrestling. Okay, it's very hard for women's wrestlers to move the needle in the current landscape because half of wrestling's audience is okay with the modern concept of women can actually wrestle really well and have 5-star matches, and the other half are giggling about TNA. And I don't mean the wrestling company, I mean Eric Bischoff's bullshit. So we're at a weird line right now where the crowd split 50-50. The problem is that they bounce back and forth. So it's going to be a long process. Women's wrestling is still doing 10 times better than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It still has a long way to go. And the only way for that to move forward is for it to move forward.
And Tina hits it again. Wrestling management has a whole fucking diversity issue as a whole. Management. We're talking management. Now, it's not without attempts. If you look at some of those manager duties, I believe Captain Sean Dean, I know he's in charge and is stated how much he tries to contribute to diversity on the roster with the enhancement chat, because I think he's in charge of the enhancement talent, right? So, like, again, not without. And I don't know. I consider AEW still, for warts and all, obviously there's some things they have definitely misstepped. It's not a perfect company. Do not by any means. But you know what? I don't feel dirty watching it and giving them my money. Is one of the important things. But I still consider them one of the more forward-thinking, working companies, representing companies out there. Generally, again, not perfect, but generally. You know, if I'm wrong, you know, obviously they're not. There's definitely stuff that they're doing wrong. Everybody, it's a big fucking company, moving very, very fast, right? Growing very, very fast. So it's not all going to be perfect, but I don't know. I think wrestling's still better than it was 5 years ago, even when it comes to these things. Yeah, I feel because of things because of AEW and the Indies and the Impact Wrestling.
I'm gonna say because of Impact. I was gonna say because of Impact.
Yeah.
Impact. Like, if there's a business model to follow, it's Impact Wrestling.
Gail Kim,
as far as the in-ring product.
As far as women's wrestling, Gail Kim and the Knockouts division and what they did when they had no budget and everyone in middle management telling them no one gave a shit, and they were still putting out banger match after banger match that we were talking about after the fact, but you only watched for that because that was why TNA is not defunct. And so
like they also had good stories behind it too.
Yeah, I mean,
like you had the monster angle of Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. You had the beautiful people. You had, for as weird as it was, you had things like Angelina Love seeing, what was her name? Winter in the mirror and all that stuff. Like,
Hands of the Wicked.
You had big storylines revolving the women that didn't involve a title. That's the main thing. Like what Raw did recently with Becky Lynch and Asuka. Wonderful story. Absolutely wonderful. Had a killer blow off last night on Raw. The no holds barred match, excellent match. Good storytelling. Becky gets the win and Becky can move on. Like, it was just good storytelling, and it didn't involve the title. It was title adjacent because obviously they both wanted the title, but you know, it didn't involve the champion directly. Like, and we need more stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's going. It's good. It's wrestling as a whole. It's come along. I don't know, Ronnie? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I thought you said something. So
listen.
Yo, Ronnie, listen.
Ronnie Stark's on the couch listening to this shit.
That's it. That's the wrap.
That's it.
He's got nothing more but being sleepy for his bit.
No,
he's got to take a nap so he's got to take a nap so he can come up with more wit. Because all in all, we're just kind of tired of this shit.
Ronnie's once again contemplating retiring fighting, but he's sitting on the couch and has much better lighting.
It is much better lighting. I'll figure it out.
Ronnie's not one for the fighting, but he's going to be here for the. No.
For the.
Frightening.
Frightening? That's not
Sure.
That's not for another 2 months.
Depends on your.
I don't know. I saw a tweet that Halloween started today, so I don't know what's going on anymore.
Halloween is starting now. All right, so.
And your point is?
I love Halloween. That's my point.
So what did you learn from wrestling this week?
What did I learn from wrestling this week?
Finish a thought. I don't care which thought it is right now.
Because you just like caught me like mid like me just fucking around. What did I learn from wrestling this week? The girls have their own way of giving Iggy's after a match.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't see the.
The hug, the kind of the squeze, the arm squeeze thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
except they grabbed each other's boobies.
I don't think that was the intent.
I think that was more of an accidental thing, but
I think that was an incidental. But
Ronnie, after the discussion we just had, that's where you go.
No,
I
Potter
had to break the ice.
Potter said that he was embarrassed for what is learned, but never mind. Ronnie just set the table for you.
Hey, I had to break the ice there because that was a heated conversation between you guys. Women's wrestling, I
didn't hear your opinions.
I like women's wrestling.
Yay!
I'm a big fan of Dark and Dark Elevation.
Oh wait, that was Ponder's too. Ponder says I learned that the boob honk was how do you check on your opponent.
God damn it!
No, but I am a big fan of
run me
Dark Elevation.
Run me the book of women's wrestler in the next any time to make up for this.
I tell you this all the time.
Let me ask about the boob honk. You know what? They don't. They're busy. The ones I know are very busy and have contracts. So
I'm sure we get Megan Myers in.
We should have. She was on AW this week.
Yeah, we could get Lady Frost back. She's not with Impact anymore.
No, she is not separated from them. She only requested, is my understanding.
It was.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean,
I thought she said she was.
That doesn't mean we can't interview her. I'm sure, but I just haven't asked for a while because
we just can't talk about Impact.
We can talk about Impact. I'm sure. Do we have to pretend she was in the witness protection program too?
Did they throw her off a bridge?
No, but she did.
No, they just threw Mickey James in front of the screen.
She did do Ultimate X, so yes.
Maybe.
Maybe. Tina learned that I was surprised T-Mobile Arena didn't implode with both AEW and WWE leadership in the same building for UFC fight on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. There was a conversation between both parties at some point.
No. You think?
I bet there was.
Yeah,
I guarantee there was.
Sure
It was like
civil.
it was a cordial thing.
Audience of one to audience of one.
I really don't feel that WWE is like a fuck AEW kind of vibe.
No, I guarantee it was a friendly thing.
But I'm just saying, as a whole, there's not I don't think AEW is a threat to them. You know what I mean?
No, of course not. They make $1 billion just by TV rights alone.
Right. Like AEW has about 2 decades to even think about getting in that space that AEW
The only
was.
real animosity between WWE and AEW is the fans that take both sides way too seriously.
And what really?
That's it. That's it.
I mean, that's just wrestling fandom. They took Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan way too seriously too. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, it turns out we were all wrong because they're both shitheads.
Turns out I'm literally watching the Dark Side of the Ring Ultimate Warrior like today. So, anyways,
they're both shitheads, just in different ways.
I've gone through the FNW Anita one. I got through the Far
North Wrestling?
No, MDK. What's that? Not Far North. The Japanese Deathmatch one with Onita.
Nick Gage.
Yeah, Nick Gage. I watched that one, and it's so weird seeing people
Sorg,
that
if
I've
you want to watch
with.
one to make you real sad, watch the
all of them.
Well, yeah, all of them. But oh god, what's his name?
Kenyon.
Fuck, I lost his name. Canadian wrestler
Dynamite
Dino
Kid?
Bravo.
Dino Bravo. Oh, I haven't seen the Dino Bravo one. Okay. I'm going for
that'll make you real sad.
When you said Canadian wrestler, my stomach dropped.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the obvious ones, like the Luna. I couldn't get through the Mae Young one, or not the Mae Young, the Fabulous Moolah one. I just
Yep,
no.
that's a rough one too.
Yeah, it was a rough one. So I'm finally getting to space. Maybe because it's when I'm on the treadmill, so I'm doing something positive, so that makes up for it. So I don't know. What the hell are we doing here? So what did we learn? Just yeah, it's any two sides. See Android versus iOS. Yeah.
I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
Jeez. I learned how to enjoy wrestling this weekend. I did attend the Enjoy Wrestling show because I love when they're Pittsburgh wrestling in Pittsburgh. I will always champion that. It sounds like the WrestleRex show went well as well. I was getting some clips from Matt Carlins that went down there, attempting to get some footage and everything for his job. And but no, I don't know. It's just I love these promotions that are very good at making a big show feel. I think a lot of promotions are lacking in that. Warrior obviously does this. Enjoy does it very well. My past experience with WrestleRex, I think they do a pretty good job. It's a whole different kind of bar vibe kind of situation. And that, I don't know, I think that matters. I think that's something other companies can learn from. Rather than just putting on a wrestling show, and having people coming out of the curtain by the bathroom. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think some can do little things to make that better. Also, like wrestling in concert venues. It's kind of a new favorite thing for me because I was at the Great Mr. Smalls. I've seen so many bands over there, including ICP, Twisted, MC Chris, POD. We interviewed Five Finger Death Punch in the back there. Cottonmouth Kings we've seen there, and to see wrestling there again, not the weird, awkward CD release party we saw for ICP several years ago, decades ago, at least a decade and a half ago. But to see how wrestling can be there, and also they built balconies there, and that place is fucking awesome. I think they have built on 50% of that facility. If you don't know Mr. Smalls, it's an old church, and there's a back area. Even our friends at River's Edge, we were on the network that ran out of the back of this venue, and in an area that is where I think Anti-Flag recorded an album. So they have a studio there, and they have this whole space is crazy, and they've just built on, and it's just incredible to see what's come of that place. But that's off wrestling. But
I saw Guar there.
I saw Guar there. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite places in Pittsburgh. It was cool to get back to it. And also I learned Friday night into Saturday I was in a bad personal space. And it's one of those something bad happened right before the rest that I kind of scheduled for myself. We were going to go see the Furries on Friday night. We did. I went to Kennywood. My mother was playing her community band down at Kennywood, and I just did not give a shit for 24 hours. And I walked into a wrestling show. Music was playing, seeing some familiar faces. The music was really great. Grabbed a beer, and just I was out of it. It kicked me out of it. And that, we talk about kind of for the wrestlers, for the fans, wrestling is the escape. That was my reset. That was it. It happens a lot of times when I go to these shows, whether it be a Warrior or a VCW, or if I could get to a Rise or something. That is a good center place for some reason for me. I know it is for a lot of you guys out there. And that really was driven home, and it was what I needed that night. So I don't know. I just recognized that and what it kind of does, So Tony, follow that up. What'd you learn this week?
I unfortunately missed the Enjoy show due to a family issue, and I was very happy to see how successful it was. I was very happy to see friends be very successful against nationally recognized talent
Yes.
in a way. And it reminds me how much, even though this is a very big territorial business, how much we're ultimately at this level, at the level we're all sitting at, are just cheering for each other. And so that was really cool. I hope to catch the next Enjoy show. Just like I hope you all catch RWA this Saturday, 7 p.m. bell time. What I learned is that the internet is so hungry for Bray Wyatt to return that they will find a promo that is obviously Edge and convince themselves that it's Bray Wyatt.
Oh, is that what the creepy shit was from Saturday night?
Okay, so let me talk about it. So if you watch the video, you will see a license plate that says Latino Heat. There's Jeff Hardy's armbands, an Olympic gold medal, some cameras, for the purposes of flash photography, things of that nature. So what does that all have in common? It's Edge, and it's either a return for Edge or they are promoting the next WWE game with Edge on the cover. It's either one of those, but it's not Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt would not put Olympic gold medals and Jeff Hardy armbands and Latino Heat license plates. Everyone calm the down.
You can swear.
Fucking calm down.
There you go. There you go. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna watch this again. Excellent.
Fuck.
All right, who's next?
Motherfucker.
All right. So I learned. This is a relearn. I've relearned that Kevin Owens is awesome.
Okay.
So in the past couple of days, he hasn't had many tweets because I think he's injured or something is amiss with him. That's why he hasn't been on. But when Liv won the briefcase, he just tweeted "Hell yes." When she won the title, he tweeted "Fuck yes" in all caps. And then he dropped a new shirt that just says "Fight Owens Fight," also Panthers. Oh, excuse me. It says Kevin Owens rules, also Panthers. And people were questioning, why does your new shirt have a panda on it? And he explained what happened. He said, I'm going to do the back and forth. Joe, what do you want on your next shirt? Me, I don't know, a panda. Joe, a panda? Why? Me, because pandas rule. Joe, okay. And he just has an angry panda in a Fight Owens Fight shirt. It says Kevin Owens rules, also pandas.
I no longer believe I have my Kevin Steen Zoo Enthusiast t-shirt, but that was one of my top t-shirts for a long time.
I remember that shirt.
That shirt was one of the funnest shirts. Like I was just like, okay, cool. And I would wear it to the zoo. And I also loved when Kevin Owens said, I don't want to go to Texas, so I'm not going to. You guys probably talked about that last week. But...
Oh, and there was also when he tweeted "Hell yes" that Liv won the briefcase, someone named Brandon responded to him, "Yeah, but they're not gonna put the title on her." He quote tweeted that guy and said, "Suck it, Brandon."
Brandon protected his tweets afterwards.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh, this shirt is amazing. This shirt,
I know.
This shirt is amazing. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
If you're wondering if I'm going to buy it, the answer is 1,000% yes.
That is a buff panda.
That's awesome.
Kevin Owens rules, also pandas.
Yeah, I think I need that.
That's it.
Wow. Yep. I think the only
best shirt they've done in a very long time.
I think the only thing I'm purchasing from WWE from now on are Kevin Owens shirts, whoever Elias is this week, and Walking Wild. Whatever. Does he have a shirt yet? I'm sure.
He actually did have a shirt.
I'm sure it's the faction.
Yeah, it's just the faction shirt.
No, he had a solo shirt.
Did he? Hold on.
I don't know if it's still up. But he did at one point.
Oh, what is this? What? I don't know. What's going on here? Hold on. What is this? Something Hogan. That's not right. No, that's
No,
because it
there's
says
just
running
legato
wild.
shirts
I just
right
spelled
now.
wild with an E to see what happened. We'll try that again.
Yeah, there's just legato shirts right now. But at one point before he joined legato, he did have a shirt, I think.
Okay. Oh, I did something. Yeah, there's the legato, like old, LWO style, but I don't know. I'm sure he doesn't get a kick off of that. Oh, the logo on the back's cool though. Like, is that a shirt?
That's
Anyways.
the back of the shirt, I think.
Well, it's the back of the shirt, but it's like the up in the corner where you put like an AEW or WWE logo, right? So, but anyways. We want to say anybody on what we learned?
I think we got
Oh,
it.
Everybody?
I did want to say the maximum male models will get over. I am
Oh
marking
my
it down
God.
right now.
The dedication of that, and those guys are working their asses off for it.
They are going to get that over come hell or high water, the same way Tyler Breeze got it over, the same way Fandango got it over.
Okay. I hope this leads to the return of Tyler Breeze.
I do
I'm gonna tell you how.
Ugh.
Maximum male models. Gorgeous.
It's a backdoor to that.
It should be. It's probably not gonna be, but it should be.
It makes too much sense. Too much sense.
I know. It makes and then you have Tyler Breeze come in and you literally do the plot of Zoolander with Tyler Breeze and Max Dupree.
Yeah.
You literally just do the plot of Zoolander, and the guy playing the Will Ferrell character, you guessed it, Sami Zayn.
Ooh.
But why male models?
Because MWM sounds not great, probably in certain circles.
That's literally a quote from Zoolander. God
I
damn it,
forgot.
end the show. End the show. I'm done with it. End the show. End the show.
Thank you, Tony Kincaid. See him on RWA this Saturday, and let him know what you thought of that rap. Of course.
Why male models?
But why? Why? Also, Mad Mike 483. He is.
I can't help it. I went to a school for ants.
And also Ronnie Starks.
Hi.
No, Ronnie, we're saying goodbye now.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Go back to sleep,
And
Ronnie.
Ronnie-
It's at Sorgatron on the Twitter. We'll see you guys next week. We're scheduled to be on the show is BC Steel. We'll see you then. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron